It's your boy King J. We back here with another vid. Hope y'all doing well, blessed, on your purpose, getting to a bag, all that good shit. And man, oh man, does it feel good to be back in attack and in that mode. Cause I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all today, man, stay in the fight. Listen, I've been off YouTube probably the last I think it'll say like 5 months when I looked at the last time I made a video. So I've been off YouTube for a minute. And look, y'all getting the video today. So we back in the fight. We back in the game. We back in the arena. And I just wanted to come on here and talk about the importance of that, because I think it really all boils down to your mindset, right? Like this channel, if you're new here, if you're just tapping in, you're just watching this video, this is mainly a mindset channel to help you to become the best version of yourself by ultimately making better decisions. And I feel like one of the best decisions that we can make, and really I believe decisions are what shape us and really truly form our destiny, but one of the best decisions that we can make is the decision to never give up, right? The decision to stay in the fight, the decision that no matter what, I know I'm going to accomplish my dreams. I know I'm going to reach my goals. I know I'm going to be, have, and do everything that I desire in life. Why? Because I decided to. And when you make that decision, when you have that ability to say, I'm not going to accept another reality, then the only option left is to stay in the fight. Now, if you give yourself an out, if you give yourself a way to say this is not for me, or I'm gonna give up, or it's not gonna work out how I expected, then it becomes that much easier to not make another YouTube video ever again. Like, I don't know if there were some doubters, if there were some haters, there's probably some demons in the spiritual world, like, oh, we hope King J never came back to YouTube, we hope he never made another video, they counted me out, they put him down. But listen, we back. You know, I had took some time off to maybe do some short form content, or just to try some different things that will allow me to reach my long-term goals, right? But the vision that I have in my mind when I created this channel, when I set out to walk this path of growth and alignment with my higher purpose, is that, you know, I know what the vision of the best version of me looks like, and I'm not going to compromise on that. You know, the way, the path, the steps can be different. They can be ordered differently. We can take them at a different time or whatever, right? But I'm not compromising on my vision. And I feel like the only way you will compromise on your vision if you allow fear to overtake you. You see, the only reason why we don't take the actions that we know we're supposed to take, or we don't stay in the fight, or we don't continue to keep trying new things, or we don't continue to put another at-bat at it, is because we're afraid of what we think that action will produce, right? We're afraid that action is going to produce this feeling of failure, and we want to avoid failure. We want to avoid pain, or it's going to produce this success, which is going to give me pain in the form of people treating me differently, or I'm losing valuable relationships to me, right? Anytime you associate there's going to be some type of loss with taking an action, then us humans, we're going to do a lot to avoid that loss, right? Like, we'll do more to not lose money than we will do to go and make money. It's just human behavior, right? But, you know, it could be a fear of rejection. You know, you're afraid that if I put myself out there fully, then people aren't going to accept me. They're not going to accept me, and they're going to reject me, and I'm going to feel unworthy. I'm going to feel not enough. I'm going to feel like I don't deserve the things that I want. But what I'm here to tell you today, what I'm here to encourage you to do today, what I'm here to maybe inspire you or put the image of in your mind today, is that none of those things matter. You have complete control of how you perceive your experience. I'm going to say that again. You have complete control over how you perceive your experience. And our experience is not dictated or not created by our circumstances, but it's created through the way that we use and process that experience in our mindset. And to keep things very simple, it's like, are you going to focus on the fact that you haven't followed through, or the fact that you lost things in the past, or the fact that you felt pain in the past when trying to make a change, when trying to move forward? Are you going to focus on those things, or are you going to focus on it working out? Are you going to focus on this being something new? Are you going to focus on this being the first step on a 1,000-step journey towards your goals, dreams, and desires? Right? Like, if we choose to focus differently, then we will take different actions. But the problem comes when our focus becomes habitual because we've been let down in the past. But the only way that we continue to get let down is if we have these expectations about the way our life should go. Right? Like, what is a failure? Are we expected to, on this path of success, to go through everything extremely perfectly, always hit the bullseye right in between the cracks, always get the action right, always take the right next step, always do like are we really expecting that from ourselves when we talk about I don't want to fail? Or success, are we truly expected to have impact, influence, success, significance, status, higher quality of life? Are we truly expecting to have a higher quality of life without pissing a few people off, or without rubbing some people the wrong way, or without, making someone feel negative based on you pursuing a positive experience in your life? Like, that's not gonna happen. Not in this world, at least. If you're going after something great, there's gonna always be people who are out there who view you pursuing something great as an attack on themselves and judgment against the quality of their actions and behavior. Why? Who knows? But it's something that's going to happen. People are going to judge what you pursue based on how they perceive and analyze the world and their experience, right? They may have had experiences in the past where they see other people become successful, and then through those successful people, they started to treat them bad, right? Like, we've been conditioned through the movies, through the media, that when people become successful, when people have money, that those people are evil, those people don't have our best interests at heart. So people are going into interactions, people are going into watching advertisements or listening to opportunities with that frame or with that model of the world, right? They have a model of the world that these type of people have that, and that's just a preconditioned belief that you can't control. So to expect no one to feel that way if you pursue your goals, dreams, and desires is not intelligent, right? And at the end of the day, when we talk about making better decisions, it all comes down to intelligence. Like, we want to make a wiser decision. We want to make better decisions. But the problem I feel like a lot of us have, and I know I can speak for myself with this, is we don't make decisions. We sit in the valley of decision so long, and it talks about this in the Bible, but it's like multitudes in the valley of decision. We're trying to decide. We're always trying to decide, should I do this, should I do that, how should I approach here? We overanalyze, we overthink the decisions that we make in our life because of the fear of failure, the fear of success, and the fear of getting rejected. But what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I want you to take the time to think about that. What would you do today if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do today if you knew it would be successful? What would you do today if you knew that if I take this step, I'm on the path of accomplishing all my goals, dreams, and desires, and I know for without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to get those desires, right? You will probably take different actions than you're taking up until now. You would probably stay in the fight a little bit longer. You would probably view your current circumstances as not even a fight, but more so a challenge or an opportunity to grow into the type of individual you need to be to have the things that you desire, right? Because we don't get the things that we desire based on what we do. No, we get the things that we desire based on who we become. We all have heard these things before. So why are we so reluctant to become the version of ourselves that naturally has the things that we want? Because we feel like we're going to lose something if we continue that path. But I'm here to say that is all in your mind, right? Truly, you will not lose anything, because the most the greatest thing that you have is yourself. The greatest thing that you have is your own power. The greatest thing that you have is your own divinity, right? Like, without the spark of life, without being alive, without the breath of life, right? Without that, you're nothing. So anything besides that is nothing, because that is everything. And when you realize that's everything, and everything besides that is nothing, that gives you the freedom to relax, right? And once we relax and we take our body out of fight or flight and we put it more into a state of relaxation, not fully resting, but just calm, right? And then we take that calmness and we use it to, or we choose to focus on key specific things that matter most to us, that we know we would do if we knew we couldn't fail, or we knew we wouldn't experience pain if there was success, or we knew we couldn't get rejected. We would do those things from a calm, focused place, and hopefully through that action, through that creativity, through that input, through that decision, we move towards our goals faster, we accomplish more of what we desire and achieve more of our dreams. And I think the biggest payoff, the one of the most important things that we're after, is we become the type of person that we can be proud of. And when you become proud of yourself, you become a model of inspiration for everybody else. You see, because a lot of people aren't proud of themselves in this day and age. A lot of people aren't proud of the decisions that they made. We've been told that, oh, pride is bad. You want to make sure that, you know, you're not too confident, you're not too prideful, you're not these things. But what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a human? What does it mean to have the spark of divinity within you? What does it mean to have the power within? What does it mean that the kingdom is within you? What that means is absolute certainty. I was actually doing a word study on this in the Bible yesterday, and in Hebrew, what the word man means, part of the definition is certainty. Like, look it up. It's literally certainty, what it means to be a man. And man not in the way of male or female, but man in terms of mankind. So in order to be a man to the truest sense of the word, you must be certain in your path. You must be certain in your vision. You must be certain in your purpose. You must be certain in your decisions. You must be certain in the things that God has placed on your heart and the actions that you take to get there in the best way that you know how at the moment. And understand that through those decisions, through that certainty, there is nothing to worry about on the other side. The only thing you should worry about on the other side of moving with absolute certainty is, if it doesn't work out, what am I going to do next? That's not a plan B, but that's being flexible to making sure that you get your outcome in life. Because the person that's the most flexible in their approach, they're willing to try more things. They're willing to give it another go. They're willing to open up the phone and give it another shot, right? Hop back on YouTube. They're willing to keep going. They're willing to stay flexible in their approach, try something else, and continue to keep trying until they get what they want. Those are truly the people that accomplish their dreams, I believe, are the happiest, most fulfilled, I believe, and are the most inspirational people that we look to in our society, because that quality of never giving up, of staying in the fight, is what we're talking about today. And I want to leave you all with that message and encourage you all, no matter where you are in your journey, no matter where you are on your path, no matter what the past has looked like for you, no matter the lack of or bad decisions that you've made previously, if you are still alive, if you are still breathing, or if you are still in the game, if you are watching this video right now, stay in the fight, my friends.